the mastermind behind all terrors which befall the world, freed from his lunar prison. Practically a god, his power knows no limits. Impending doom approaches. Moon Lord is the main antagonist and final boss of the sandbox video game Terraria, introduced in the 1.3 update. It is a massive eldritch horror that seeks to destroy the world. Though banished long ago, pieces of its body continue to bring misery to the world at night, and the lunatic cultist and his coven are making plans to bring about the return of their master. According to the official game lore, though it was initially theorized that Moon Lord was Cthulhu's brother, it appears that he is Cthulhu itself, or at least is what it implies. This entity was detrimental to existence, and was finally banished by the Dryads, an ancient race of whom the Dryad NPC is the only survivor, ripped out his organs and banished to the moon. It further appears that the celestial events and his eventual battle are his final attempt at total conquest, as stated directly. The Moon Lord has a quite similar appearance to its counterpart in Lovecraftian lore, barring some differences. The Moon Lord has brown skin with various blue parts complementing it. Its head has an exposed brain, 5 blue eyes, a set of razor-sharp teeth, and blue tentacles. Its body has a muscular chest, a core on the chest, which is its weak point, and 2 arms that have small spikes on the arm and an eye on each palm. However, the Moon Lord lacks a lower half, ending in an exposed part of its spine. Prior to the events of Terraria, the world was attacked by Cthulhu and nearly destroyed, but it was stopped by an ancient race of dryads connected to the planet. Though they were unable to kill Cthulhu and mostly died out, they crippled the deity and banished it to the far side of the moon, where it became the Moon Lord seen in the game and plotted its revenge. They also ripped out one of its eyes, part of its skeleton, and chunks of its brain implied to become the Eye of Cthulhu, Skeletron, and the Brain of Cthulhu, respectively. After many years, a doomsday lunatic cult led by a fanatical zealot began seeking to methodically revive Cthulhu and bring about the end of the world. In order to accomplish this, they kidnap a mechanic, place her in a dungeon, and force her to build replacement parts for the deity. She mostly completes her work, implied to have created Skeletron Prime, the Destroyer, and the twins, only needing to complete the mechanical brain. An old man is also possessed by Skeletron during this time and becomes a steward to the dungeon. In the actual game, the player will encounter the cult in the dungeon that used to house the old man possessed by Skeletron, in a small group appearing to be worshipping the Moon Lord. If you attack the cultists and kill the lunatic cultist who appears after, you unlock the celestial events, where 4 pillars Nebula, Solar, Stardust, and Vortex are summoned into your world, summoning celestial monsters near their location. You are then tasked to destroy each of these pillars, but as you do, something appears to not be right, as flavor text afterwards says your mind goes numb, your body gripped with pain, and hearing otherworldly voices lingering. After destroying the last pillar, the screen will vibrate, and the music will fade out. After this event, the player has 1 minute to get ready for a fight, because after this period, the Moon Lord will appear, and the fight with it will begin. The Moon Lord has various deadly attacks such as summoning phantasmal spheres, which explode after a couple of seconds, spawning phantasmal eyes, who home in on the player, shooting phantasmal bolts firing a phantasmal death ray, a massive laser, reaching a tentacle at the player, if attached. It spawns Moonleech Clots, who can regenerate health back to the Moon Lord if not killed. The player must destroy each of the hands and the head to open the core, the Moon Lord's weak spot. When one of the body parts is destroyed, said body part grows harming thorns and spawns a true Eye of Cthulhu, which does each of the first 4 attacks. If the player dies to the Moon Lord depawns, and the player must refight both the lunatic cultist and the pillars. However, if they beat the Moon Lord, it shakes violently and explodes, leaving only a skeleton behind, vanquishing the threat to Terraria forever. After this, the player can both reap the rewards of the powerful items it gives when defeated and complete the game.